What if George H.W. Bush won re-election and then Bill Clinton was elected in 1996? What if history unfolded differently? Moments of political transition often shape the trajectory of nations, affecting domestic policies, global relationships, and societal evolution. One such pivotal moment in modern U.S. history was the 1992 presidential election, which brought Bill Clinton to power, ending George H.W. Bush's single term in office. But what if Bush had defied the odds, won re-election, and served a second term? What if Clinton, instead of ascending in 1992, rose to the presidency in 1996? This speculative scenario invites us to consider the ripple effects of leadership timing. From economic recovery and foreign diplomacy to cultural and political shifts, the consequences of altering this timeline could be profound. Let's unravel the possibilities and explore what this alternative history might reveal about the significance of leadership transitions. The 1992 election stands as a defining moment in American politics. George H.W. Bush entered the race under difficult circumstances. Despite overseeing monumental foreign policy successes, the Gulf War, and navigating the peaceful dissolution of the Soviet Union, Bush faced domestic headwinds. A frustrating economic recession, unemployment concerns, and his infamous decision to break the "no new taxes" pledge alienated key segments of his base. On the other side was Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton, a charismatic Democrat who rebranded the party with his centrist New Democrat approach, harnessing discontent and broadening the party's appeal beyond its traditional strongholds. He presented himself as a candidate of generational change. To complicate matters further, Ross Perot, an independent candidate, drew significant support, effectively acting as a spoiler. But what if Bush had managed to secure a second term? Could a stronger campaign message have saved him from these difficulties? Perhaps if the economic recovery had accelerated in certain key states, or if Perot's influence had siphoned more votes from Clinton than Bush. The notion of Bush heading into 1993 as a two-term president sets the stage for a remarkably different 1990s. A second term for Bush would likely extend the pragmatic, measured foreign policy approach he had established during his first term. The end of the Cold War left the world in flux, particularly in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union. Bush's leadership, founded on multilateral diplomacy, may have further solidified his reputation as a stabilizer. Would Bush have engaged in NATO expansion earlier, solidifying collective security in Europe, or would he have pursued a more restrained approach? His cautious tone may have avoided the Balkan interventions Clinton later championed. Instead, the Bush administration might have prioritized managing U.S.-China relations amid growing globalization or fostering peace in the Middle East following the Gulf War's aftermath. His commitment to global partnerships could have underscored efforts to deepen trade agreements, such as the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. Unlike Clinton, Bush may have passed NAFTA with less political theater and controversy owing to his diplomatic style and bipartisan leanings. Domestically, economic recovery would have been Bush's greatest opportunity and test. By the early 1990s, the U.S. was beginning to climb out of a prolonged recession. A second Bush administration could have overseen a steady resurgence in job growth. However, Bush's technocratic yet detached manner may not have resonated deeply with everyday Americans, even if the economy improved, potentially widening divides within the electorate. Where Bush often avoided bold domestic reforms, the tech-driven innovations of the mid-90s, such as the rise of the internet, might have quietly flourished under his watch. However, issues like healthcare reform, education, and environmental policy likely would not have been prioritized under his cautious, foreign policy-first agenda. By 1996, Bill Clinton would likely inherit a different America than he did in 1992. The focus of his centrist political platform may have shifted, reflecting a country grappling with globalization, technological advancement, and a stronger economy in the wake of Bush's steady hand. Clinton's natural gift for recognizing cultural shifts could position him as the leader of this emerging reality. The internet boom was beginning to transform communication, business, and global markets. Clinton, often seen as the man of the moment, may have used this dynamic environment to further shape the Democratic Party's pro-business image. His rise during this unique period might even have accentuated his centrist, modernizing brand, making him an even stronger figure on economic innovation and technological leadership. Clinton's delay in ascending to the presidency raises questions about his policy priorities. Would the failed healthcare reform initiative of his actual first term in 1993 even arise as a pressing matter in 1996? Or would Clinton pivot to more timely ambitions, such as regulating digital economies, advancing globalization, or targeting education for a tech-savvy generation? One complication, however, would be the political dynamics of a strengthened Republican Congress emboldened by 12 years of GOP dominance. Would Clinton's delayed presidency make him more careful in navigating Congress, fostering broader bipartisan collaboration, or would it pit him against entrenched opposition, eager to counterbalance a shifting executive branch? Timing influences legacy, and this delayed rise could have reshaped Clinton's public standing entirely. Key controversies from his actual presidency, such as his impeachment over the Lewinsky scandal, might have faced different circumstances. Political fatigue after 12 years of Republican leadership might soften the backlash. On the other hand, greater scrutiny after a prolonged GOP era could have amplified these challenges. Bush's second term would likely emphasize continuity in global relations. A measured approach might diffuse long-simmering tensions and avoid the direct military engagements Clinton entered, such as interventions in Kosovo or Somalia. However, this restraint may have missed opportunities Clinton later championed in reshaping NATO or exerting proactive global leadership. When Clinton ultimately entered the White House in 1996, he would encounter an evolving geopolitical landscape. Clinton's timing could increase his enthusiasm for globalized partnerships and trade expansion, while delaying interventions in the Balkans or the passage of key environmental agreements. Bush's second term might have tamped down the cultural energy Clinton ignited in 1992. The cultural discourse surrounding LGBTQ rights, women's health, and race relations, prominent during the Clinton presidency, may have advanced more slowly under Bush's reserved leadership. Alternatively, Clinton's delayed rise might deepen and amplify existing divides when he assumes power at a later, more contentious stage. This speculative timeline raises intriguing questions about the 2000 election. Clinton entering office in 1996 could alter the trajectory of his vice president, Al Gore. Would Gore run in 2000 if Clinton's presidency started later, leaving him a narrower window for campaigning and legacy building? Alternatively, would Clinton himself seek re-election in 2000, leaving Gore to wait until 2004? And what about the Republican Party? Could George W. Bush still rise to prominence if his father served 2 full terms? Or does a stronger legacy for George H.W. Bush create ripple effects in GOP leadership, paving the way for another high-profile figure to dominate the party's future? Changing the sequence of presidencies impacts more than policies. It reshapes political culture, social structures, and national identity. A second Bush term offers a more measured but less daring vision for America, focusing on stability over transformation. Clinton's delayed rise could alter his legacy, either sharpening his role as a modernizing force or restricting his ability to implement bold agendas amid an antagonistic Congress. This speculative exercise also raises broader questions about political timing. How much does chronology shape a leader's success? How do leadership transitions impact the direction of cultural discourse, economic trends, and global positioning? By re-examining key historical moments, we gain deeper appreciation not only for the outcomes of elections, but also for the pathways not taken. Whether Bush's steady pragmatism or Clinton's dynamic energy emerged first, each leader's timing and context profoundly affects their mark on history. What do you think? Would America have fared better or differently in this alternate timeline? Like and subscribe and comment away for more from History Twist.